Pecha Kucha 99 new logo and VladTV. So, this is what the fourth or the fifth week of me avoiding doing a lot of work because of my hands and stuff. And now I feel like I'm at the point where I've fallen out of the habit of drawing. So this is yeah, we got to sort that out. But I watched Drunken Master with Jackie Chan this week. Uh, One of the few Jackie Chan movies I own. I'm a big Jackie Chan fan, and Le Boulon got announced for Tekken 7 finally. And I decided I wanted to watch a good old-fashioned movie that has inspired me greatly. The guy on the left is a big deal in his own right. I can't remember his name. It's like Quen Sien Siu or something. He teaches Jackie's character Drunken Mastery. He's a cool dude, but I think he uses a body double sometimes. It's interesting, but not everybody is Jackie Chan and they do their own stunts. So Huang Zhangli is the bad guy, badass Korean Taekwondo dude who allegedly has killed a man with his feet, at least one. His character says things in this movie that I have been quoting in real life. I mean, I've stopped doing it recently, but now I've seen the film again. I need to go back to doing it. So he says, "Hands are for doorknobs, legs kick down doors." Any time I can work that into a conversation, which isn't very often, mind you, I will. And I love that, Bob. 70s kung fu films. It's a thing. Trust me on this. And in this scene, like the dude on the bottom left is telling Jackie, like, "You must think you're the cat's ass," because Jackie thinks he's the cat's ass, which is an idiom you never hear because no one says it, and it's like you must think you're a badass. But I have worked this into conversations, and I will do it again because I love that. It's such a ridiculous phrase. But mostly, I've spent my week watching Vlad TV. Which is like a guy goes around interviewing dudes. They're mostly African Americans. Some of them are like hip hop dudes. Some of them are like I've seen him interview porn stars. And he just asks them questions that are topical. And the way that I got introduced to Vlad TV was through Dr. Umar Johnson, who is yeah, look at his T-shirt, unapologetically African. He has his opinions on things. He's outspoken. He's what you'd probably call a self-made man. And I don't know I agree with what he says, but I find it entertaining. Lord Jamar's another one of those dudes. He's a real salty motherfucker, right? But it's not that he's wrong some of the time, but, you don't need to be so mad about... I mean, it's Vlad's fault for asking him, like, leading questions about, like this one, Jaden Smith wearing dresses and then becoming, like... a spokesperson for that kind of thing. And then there's this guy, Daylight. I don't even know what this guy does for a living, but I'm assuming he doesn't have one because he's got face tattoos. He is the troll king. Everything he says with a straight face, and it's a lie. Unless it isn't, and that's the beauty of this guy. He is the ultimate CIA plant. You don't know. It's all disinformation. And then you got this guy Godfrey. I had a feeling he was a professional comedian because he's too entertaining. And he's got the greatest smile in the world. He could can turn a serial killer into a saint with that smile. He is funny as fuck, right? A little bit racist, but in that Dave Chappelle way. And then there's Boosie, who's like I want to say up and coming rapper, but I think like he's probably there. He's flossing like it's the 90s, and he's Puff Daddy and Mace. He's come from a dark past, and he's an interesting dude, and he's got his face on his own potato chips. So this is why I watch Vlad TV. Talib Kweli was talking here about how anime characters all look like they're white, and how a black dude in America kind of internalizes that thing. So there's a lot of micro political stuff going on. It's all heavily opinionated, and it's all very interesting. Nick Cannon, like a lot of these dudes, I'm like, I don't even know who these dudes are, but like they talk about something interesting. He's an interesting dude. He's like a self-made man, used to be an actor, and he's got a lot of these dudes have very interesting outlooks on life. He's a very positive dude, wants to give back to his community, stuff like that. So I'm down with these cats. Rico Reckless is an up-and-coming Chicago rapper, and it's like he's like blowing up in the underground, and he's still got to watch out for drive-bys. So he's a great example of that kind of living for today because you're going to be dead tomorrow mentality that you're going to see in like young hip hop dudes. This guy's just talking about how, you know, he still makes money even though he's not someone who's in the public eye so much these days from making music. You know, there's a lot of behind the scenes talking about royalties and publishing, which is another reason I find VladTV so interesting. So this is my Colt Cougar gap stop logo for the YouTube channel, which was always meant to be replaced at some point. This week I actually, you know, was in Illustrator thinking about, you know, how would I redesign this cowboy mountain lion. So I was in Manga Studio just like messing around with like the lassoing tool to, you know, get block colors and stuff. And you know, I've come to the realization I want the guy wearing I've forgotten his name, a Lee Van Cleef hat, smoking his stogie, and he probably needs to wear one of them bandit bandanas. And this is kind of my Illustrator redesign of that. It's all still work in progress because, you know, I am totally trying to figure out Illustrator. It's a pain in my ass, but I think it can get me where I want to go. So, you know, we'll keep plugging away and we'll see what we can do. And next week, I think I'm probably not going to blog, but I really want to get that work flow back to a reasonable level. I don't know if I can use the Cintiq the way I'd like, but I guess the best way to do this is to test it. You know, I'll just work my hands until it's time to stop working them, and we'll see how far I can get through the week. But I will still be watching VladTV in my spare time. It's entertaining, if not informative. Although it's taught me about what's going on in the world right now, and this is why I don't pay attention to the world right now. Right, so that brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 99, and I'll see you next time.